Hello there, good to be with you. Welcome to my views and news. Three news stories. Views. First one is about PM Abiy's new blue-eyed boy in the Amhara region. It seems that federal government of PM Abiy has found its right-hand man in the Amhara region. This man is going to lead the region now. Officially, he is an official, but he is not president. Who is this man who is going to lead this region now? By the way, it's not easy for anyone in the Amhara region to be at the forefront these days, because anyone who wants to be loyal to PM Abiy is bound to be at the hit list of Fano fighters. But this man has decided to share federal government's narrative in the Amhara region. Secondly, a dangerous claim was made by a news outlet last night that for drone strike in Fano ASF, a man from Tigray supported Ethiopian Air Force. I want to address this claim. How do drone strikes work? What this news source reported, can it be trusted, or the news source should apologize for its reporting? Thirdly, viewers, an Ethiopian minister yesterday shared numbers, details of how many Amhara Special Force soldiers have joined Fano fighters. Girma spoke about a number if you remember, a percentage if you remember. Now this minister spoke yesterday. Firstly, viewers, Girma, who was assassinated a few months ago in the Amhara region, was very close to Ethiopian PM Abiy and federal government. And he shared federal government's narrative in Amhara region very fearlessly. He was supporting the military operation against Fano fighters. He was from North Shore zone, and he was one of top men in the Amhara region. Though he was head of development wing, but he was very influential. In some cases, he was more influential than the president, regional president. Why? Because he was close to Ethiopian PM Abiy. Fano fighters knew that very well, so they assassinated him. Though Fano fighters never claimed responsibility. They say that Girma was assassinated by PM Abiy-backed elements. And then some intelligence agencies leaked an audio call between two Fano commanders, sharing details of how Girma was assassinated by them. After Girma, PM Abiy's government was in search of next right-hand man, who will be federal government's man in the Amhara region. Yilkal, I've been saying, is a restrained, silent type of guy. He speaks very carefully. So he is not the type which federal government wants. He is being tolerated, I think, by federal government. So a new man has emerged, it seems. This man, his press briefings are being broadcast. They're being covered by Ethiopian state media, though he is from the Amhara region. But state media is giving coverage to this man's interviews, press briefings. Who is this man? Sima Terone, viewers. Sima Terone is Administrative Affairs Cluster Coordinator. He is a Deputy Chief Administrator of the Amhara region too. And today he briefed journalists about the situation in the Amhara region. And he used very strong words against Fano fighters. He said armed robbers are operating in the region who inflicted material losses, human losses on the people, on the region. Economic development affected too. He said deliberately these anti-peace elements have started a war when there is farming season ongoing in the region and farmers are farming their lands. Purpose is to stop farming of land in the Amhara region. So it means this group is anti-peace group, Sema Tirone says. Sema appreciated Ethiopian National Defense Force. He appreciated people of Amhara, that people of Amhara stood with the Ethiopian National Defense Force. He said that propaganda is being launched against ENDF. Defamation campaigns are being launched against Ethiopian National Defense Force. But peace can only come through dialogue, not through starting of wars. This press briefing of Sema was covered by all top Ethiopian state-backed news sources, Fano Broadcasting, EBC and all others. Sema is just an Amhara regional government official. And if you remember, 2 days ago I did a video about some change by the federal government. Now, in place of Yilkal, Sema has been appointed as the government official from Amhara region who can operate Amhara region's bank accounts. Amhara regional finance minister and Sema Tirone both are now jointly operating Amhara region's bank accounts. Through their joint signatures, all monetary transactions are being carried out. So it means that federal government is giving power to Sema Tirone. Yilkal is being sidelined. Silent type of guy, not acceptable to the federal government. But federal government maybe cannot remove him. Federal government can pop up a new man. This new man is Sema. By the way, I talked to a few people yesterday about Sema. They are close to Fano fighters, and they say Sema is a very interesting character. They claim that Sema is in touch with Fano fighters too. I don't know. But they say Sema stays in touch with Fano fighters too, and he plays the federal government too. But he is a very shrewd man, it seems. He has managed to win the hearts of the people of federal government, of people close to PM Abiy himself. But he'll have to be very careful, because if anyone is found to be very close to the federal government, obviously Fano fighters don't tolerate such people in the Amhara region. So Sema will have to be very careful. Sema claimed a few weeks ago that he survived an assassination attempt, though we could not confirm this assassination attempt on Sema Tirone. Let's see, will he replace Yilkal, or will he keep on working as deputy head of the region, and all powers are going to be used by Sema, while Yilkal will only be just ceremonial president? We'll see in coming months. But it seems that now Sema is going to be PM Abiy's right-hand man in the Amhara region. Secondly, there was a very dangerous claim by a news outlet last night that a man from Tigray helped Ethiopian Air Force in conducting a drone strike in Fano ASF, in which more than 20 were killed and dozens were injured. Some say 70 were killed. But it was a deadly drone strike. Fano ASF in West Gojam, around 3 days ago, drone strike was conducted. The news outlet is based abroad. Ethio 360 journalists, they are reporting that a man from Tigray was based in the Amhara region. He was at a hotel and he shared coordinates of the place where drone strike was conducted. Now, I have a few points because I've been covering drone strikes for years. Drones mostly don't use coordinates. Drones can use coordinates, but drones hit moving targets mostly, in most cases. Though static targets can also be hit by drones, but drones are mostly used to hit moving targets. When you want to hit a moving target, coordinates are not helpful. Coordinates are of stationary, static objects or places. If a vehicle is moving, you cannot share its coordinates regularly. The drone strike in Fano ASF was on a vehicle. It means that vehicle was on the move. From somewhere it arrived at the town square where it was hit. And drones mostly operate through their cameras. Drones have high quality cameras which are being used by the drone operators to see what is happening on the ground. Drone operators make decisions which target to hit, which is the target. Coordinates don't work mostly. Coordinates are not used mostly. Though in case of stationary objects, yes, coordinates can be used by drone operators. And secondly, I think in Fano ASF, internet has been down. Internet was cut off days ago before this drone strike. And some say mobile networks were not working in Fano ASF. So how did this man from Tigray, who managed to arrive in Fano ASF, stay at a hotel, and he was maybe he was in possession of some satellite phone through which he contacted Ethiopian Air Force officials and shared coordinates of the position of Fano fighters. This story lacks substance, I would say. It's a pure rumor. If there is any convincing evidence, yes, every news outlet, journalists has right to share their views with people, but rumors should not be spread. Because already there is Tigray, Amhara tension over Volkai, Traya, some other issues too. So implicating Tigrayans in drone strikes is not responsible. I won't say that Tigray will be neutral in this war, because Tigray's statement a few days ago, 2 days ago, spoke as if Tigray wanted to help the federal government, but we have no evidence. How can we implicate Tigray in the war in Amhara, in the fighting in Amhara, without having any tangible evidence? So I think the news outlet should correct its reporting. It will deteriorate, it will further complicate relations between Tigray and Amhara people. I don't think anyone from Fano ASF, anyone from Tigray and Fano ASF directed the drone operator to hit Fano fighters. I think it was the drone operator's decision which target to hit. And there could be elements in Amhara too, in touch with the Ethiopian military, Ethiopian Air Force. We cannot say that entire Amhara region supports the Fano fighters. The Fano fighters have massive public support. It does not mean that each and every Amhara in Amhara region supports Fano fighters. But I think that the drone strike was not based on human intelligence. Lastly, viewers, an Ethiopian minister has shared some details of how many Amhara special force members have joined Fano fighters. Late Girma Shitila, when he was alive, had said that 30% of Amhara special force soldiers had not reported at camps after ASF members were told to hand over their weapons and report at camps. Back then, months ago. And then Ethiopian state media, Amhara state media claimed that hundreds of ASF members had returned. They showed pictures of ASF members that they had returned. But yesterday, Minister of Peace of Ethiopia, Binalef, held a meeting with some political party members. Minister of Industry, Milako Alabal, who's from Amhara, who's in Amhara, he was also there. And there, Binalov, Mr. P, said that around 50% of Amhara's special force soldiers disagreed with disarmament decision. They did not report at camps, and majority of them joined Fano fighters. It means Girma's report was not correct. Maybe Binalov's report is not correct. More than 50% have joined Fano fighters. A few days ago, Tafira Mamu spoke. He was interviewed by a journalist, and he said that majority of ASF members had joined Fano fighters. So 50% is now the number, the percentage shared by the government itself. 50% did not report at camps, and majority of them joined Fano fighters. Number could be more, I think. Percentage could be higher. So we can say that large number of ASF members, thousands of them. 50% does not mean hundreds. 50% would mean thousands. That is why I say that the decision to disband Amhara Special Force backfired. It gave new life to Fano factions. And we saw resurgence of Fano. Fano was under serious pressure, Fano fighters, last year. But this year, after ASF members joined them, Fano is not just a militia now. Fano has trained, skilled ASF members, ASF officers like Moghaz Zigai, like Colonel Moghaz Zigai, Colonel Fantahun, etc. That is why these fighters are giving a tough time to Ethiopian National Defense Force. Thank you for watching.